We're smooth 98.1 FM. Good morning and welcome to Business Express as we get ready for the first edition in October. It is the first day of November 2023, and it is time to talk about everything related to money, and the rates at the moment is what we shall be dwelling on. Just to give you a teaser, can the Naira get to 750 by December? Well, wishful thinking, is that what you feel? Well, let's see how it feels like. Help me make welcome this morning, Patrick Atuanya, publisher, MoneyCentral Media Limited, as he joins us for Business Express. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So let's even get to these issues first. The teaser, let's see, the listener who are also our clients would like to know what your take would be. Do you see it as possible for the Naira to even get to 750 by December?
Well, if I was a soothsayer, I'll be making a lot of money, right? So from our own little analysis, we think based on the plans of the government, it will depend on how soon they can actualize some of those plans, right? But our outlook is, Naira should be somewhere between 900 and 950 by the end of the year. I mean, December is just 4 weeks away, so it's not like it's that far away, So 900, 950. But it's also heavily based on if the government can execute some of the plans that they've come out to announce. And then beyond that, it just depends on how quick they can get some of these plans in place. But, 900, 950 seems like a good place for the Naira value to trade. Don't forget that in December, you get a lot of travelers coming into Nigeria, right, from overseas for vacation. So there's usually a lot of official and unofficial flows coming into the country by travelers, So that tends to usually get some appreciation for the value of the Naira. I think right now the Naira is trading around 1,000, 995 to 1,000. In the parallel market, so I think 900, 950, that should be a fair range in a month from now. That's our outlook.
So even against the backdrop of the fact that the Central Bank of Nigeria has come forward to say there is no plan to redominate the currency, that in itself too would not even have an effect or in that regard.
No. So I think the redenomination issue is a totally separate issue, right?
Okay.
So it just means removing some zeros from your currency. So if the Naira was 1,000 to 1 for the dollar, redenomination will just, if you remove 2 3 zeros, it will now be maybe 10 Naira to 1, but it doesn't really change the fundamental value of the Naira, but it's a good thing the government came out and said that, because there were a lot of voice notes coming out, or WhatsApp messages coming out, saying that that was going to happen. I think it's better to have the Naira where it is now, because the value can move in basically decimals, right? It can go from 900 to 910 to 920 to 930, right? Or vice versa. But when you do redenomination, what happens is it goes from like 10 to 11 to 12 to 13. So those are very big moves. The currency, as we saw in the case of Ghana when they did that. After about a year or two, their currency pretty much collapsed compared to where it was. So I think that's it's a good thing the government came out to give clarity on that.
Well, taking your word for it and knowing that all you do and preach and practice is money, 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 money. So it seemed like one can go to bed saying that Naira will find its level eventually somehow. So let's get into this. Should anyone in the public sector be making predictions on the value of the Naira by any time? Should they be involved in this?
So That's a good question. I think if not for the where we found ourselves in terms of the basically, a collapse of the currency since the current government came into power. Don't forget, around May, before the current president, Tinubu took office, Naira was trading around, let's say, 480, 500, perhaps, right? 520-ish. And all of a sudden, we saw ourselves, the Naira going to as high as 1,300 per dollar, so that's alarming to all Nigerians, so that's probably got a lot of the officials to start talking about it. Well, official, I'm talking about the central bank governor, the new central bank governor, Cardoso, the new Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the head of the tax reform committee of the president, that's
Oladele.
Oyedele, yeah,
Oyedele.
Oladele, right?
Mm.
So ordinarily, they probably should not be making any specific figures about where they think should trade because they're not day traders, right? But I think it's because of where we found ourselves, which is fine. I think if they come out with their plans and make a guidance to the market that this is where we think the Naira should be trading, I think it's okay, but usually it's not very common. But I guess we're not in common times right now.
And so that will now lead us to the question of the plan by the government to clear the backlogs. Companies wanting to repatriate their capital in terms of in dollars. Where does that leave us?
Okay, so again, it's a plan. Right now, there are estimates of about 6.7 to $7 billion of backlogs in the whole entire economy, right? So what the government is trying to do is let's get a big swoop of funds coming in, about $10 billion. That's what they say they're expecting. Out of that 10, $7 billion is coming from NMPC forward sales of NLNG and other products. Yes. And then about $3 billion from what we hear is going to come in from Qatar, but we don't know exactly what the Qataris are going to be getting in return for that $3 billion. We've not gotten any information from the government. But in total, they plan $10 billion. So again, you can plan something. You and I know everybody is a businessman, right? Or at least you earn a paycheck, right? And you can make your budget, your plans, but they might not always pan out. So maybe yes, you expect to make $2-3 million Naira this Christmas period, but maybe you make half of it. So the government has a plan to get in $10 billion in just, they said, before the end of the year. We think that is highly unlikely. Okay. They might get half of it, but it's really tough to see how they can get that much in a short period of time. So what's going to happen is, even if they get half, it's still positive. They can make some clearance on the backlogs, and that will bring more confidence to the foreign currency market and also liquidity in the I&E window of the market.
So if you can, in less than a minute, if you would, is there a way to get this parallel market to become redundant or irrelevant in our system?
Okay, so
AKA black market.
Yeah, the only way to do that is, I'll give you an analogy. Anytime we have fuel scarcity, you begin to see the black market dealers set up shop everywhere on our streets with small jerry cans, right? And they're hawking. And then when you go past the official fuel filling stations, they're either under lock and key, or there's a very huge queue. So it's the same thing, right? And then how do you eradicate those jerry can selling people is when you bring in massive supplies of fuel to serve the filling station. It's exactly the same thing. Right now, in the official market, which is the I&E window, is either they don't have the dollars, or there's a large queue, which is going back to the backlog we just talked about, right? It's a large queue of people waiting for dollars to get dollars. So how do you get the black market to go away? Is to bring in a huge amount of supply into the official market, and also at the price that people want to clear, right? So a lot of time before when you see fuel scarcity happening, because the government wants to increase the price of fuel or something, right?
Okay.
And then the black market dealers, the guys in jerrycan, if the fuel is selling for official rate at 200, they might be selling at 400 per liter, right? So it's also the same thing in the FX market. There has to be a somewhat fair price or a market price so that people that have dollars can come and sell in that market. With that
Now,
way, you can reduce the black market to the minimum. Yeah.
Your final question this morning as we clear up the set the agenda for business this morning, because we just be talking dollars this morning for business, and I just know some persons will be getting headache right now. But talk to me about what your opinion is about these domiciliary accounts, and should it be outlawed in some way?
No. I think definitely should not be outlawed. It plays dumb accounts play a very major function on the balance sheet of the banks. A lot of people don't know, right? So on the balance sheet of the banks, they are represented as liabilities, right? So they have to use that to balance their asset side of in terms of loans, right? So when they give out dollar loans, it's good to have dollar liabilities in the form of dumb accounts. Also, there are demand deposits. There are people's money. Government should not come and close it down or seize it. And there also is some form of liquidity for the banks, right? The FX liquidity, the source of just the way that Naira deposits a form of FX liquidity, Naira liquidity for the banks. The FX deposit also a source of dollar liquidity for the banks. So I don't think it should be closed down. I think what government can do is get it more, find a way to make it more impactful in the wider economy. Right now, a lot of the domiciliary account dollars that are used to back loans to big corporations or big companies, right? But if there's a way to get it to get to some of the smaller people that need dollars, then that will make more sense.
All right, thank you very much. So if you're just joining, I've been speaking with our guest this morning, Patrick Atuanya, publisher, MoneyCentral Media Limited. But before we let you go, just to get in a message sent in here, because everyone's been listening rapidly because it's dollar issue. So Ahmed from Obudu says, those countries that even did the currency redenomination outside Africa have no positive impact on their currency. Hope the government will not do it later, just like what the government did when the rumor of exchanging Naira to a dollar at 6:30 then and later float it. That's what Ahmed from Obudu would say. And I've got a message in here. This one's coming from Fine Oluboroko. I believe the Naira can be around 800 by December to a dollar, and this will largely be as a result of December diaspora remittances and festivities. In addition, if the government can get the 10 billion US dollars by expecting before December, then government Naira dollar target will work. That's all we can take. So I want to say thank you so much, Patrick Atuanya, publisher, MoneyCentral Media Limited. You have yourself a great morning.
Thank you so much, guys. Happy to be here.
All right, bye. And thanks to everyone who sent in a message. And listen, my name is Omatseye.